I'm the Nevada Stray Cat, and I'm here at Nevada Historical Marker number 51 for Shelbourne Station. Shelbourne Station was a waypoint of the Pony Express. And the Pony Express, although they only operated for about 18 months, left a huge imprint in our national psyche.
When I planned this ride, I intended to put Shelbourne in the middle, coming south on alternate U.S. Route 93 to the rest stop, and then back north by way of U.S. Route 93 to Wells, Nevada. Unfortunately, my SD card had other plans. I thought I'd fix the problem I had in the last episode by doing a low-level format, but 18 minutes into this ride, it stopped recording. A fact I didn't discover until I reached the turnaround point. Directly across the highway from the rest stop and historical marker is the first of 3 ghost towns we'll be visiting on this ride. The Pony Express Motel, Grill, and Bar. It was a going concern until the late noughties, but appears to have been killed by the 2008 financial crash. When the owners decided they couldn't make a go of it anymore, they just walked away, leaving everything in place, and the message, "Everything has a price," scrawled in spray paint on their propane tank. Today, the buildings are ruined and graffiti adorned, and I don't think the floors are entirely safe. This is a place best admired from across the road. The rest stop over there also has the advantage of functioning pit toilets, so there's that. We're heading north on U.S. Route 93. I recently learned that although the U.S. numbered highway system was established in 1925, 100 years ago, this route was not part of that initial map. It didn't receive its designation until the following year, 1926. But the road already existed. Since 1912, it had been part of the Lincoln Highway, the first transcontinental automobile route. Interestingly, the Lincoln Highway is still updated, and I'll put a link to their website in the description. But that route follows alternate Route 93, which we will not be taking today. I stopped at our second ghost town, Lagos Station, about 15 miles north of Shelbourne. It's labeled Lagos Junction on the highway signs, but the family who live here, whom I have spoken to on other rides, prefer the station designation. Wikipedia will tell you there's a gas station here. Until recently, Google Maps claimed that there was an RV park. Those things are no longer here, nor is the motel, bar, or cafe the still standing sign claims. I do want to emphasize that this property is owned by a family who still lives here, and they prefer not to be bothered by passers-by, so please, if you stop in their lot, observe their privacy. I have talked to them, because one of them came out to ask me about the Ryker several months ago. Despite what I just said about the gas station no longer existing, I stopped here to refuel. I knew that the trip I had planned was longer than my fuel tank could sustain, and I'd carried a spare fuel bottle in my pack. This trip's gasoline was paid for by my quarterly check from the Screen Actors Guild. Residuals for one line in a movie shot in 1976 at Old Tucson. I was 8. The line? Let's go. It just happened to be in one of the most prominent westerns of all time. If you'd like to keep me from depending on the continued popularity of a 50-year-old movie, you can donate to my gasoline fund by making a contribution through my Ko-fi page. Ko-fi is similar to Patreon, but has smaller fees for creators. A link to that page is in the description of this episode, and in my channel description. And if you choose to support the channel, and my Ryker's endless appetite for fuel, I will be tremendously grateful. With the tank full, we head back out on US Route 93 northbound. Almost immediately, we turn off the northeasterly path we've been following and go more directly north following the primary route, not the alternate, which would take us back to Windover. That, as it turns out, is a story for another day. "11 miles north we come to Curry, the third of our ghost towns on this ride. Although the sign for Go Shoot Mercantile promises cold soda, I don't think any beverages have been sold here since at least the pandemic. I think the only currently active concern here is the Nevada Highway Department's maintenance depot. In case you're wondering, I stopped here because I'd forgotten to fasten the chin strap of my helmet back at Logis Station, and I needed both hands to remedy that oversight. Nevada is mountain country. We have more separate named mountain ranges than any other U.S. state, more than 300 of them. As befits roads laid out in the heady days of the early 20th century, when cars raced along at the breakneck speed of 18 to 20 miles per hour, Route 93 lies mostly in the valleys between ranges, which accounts for the long straight stretches an Australian correspondent of mine commented upon. Those valleys mean water, both from the rain shadow effect of the mountains and the channeling effect of the slopes. In some places along the way, you can see very green fields where they grow hay and straw. There's also pasturage here for cattle, sheep, and horses, though the sheep and horses are mostly up higher this time of year, and come down to these ranges during the winter and spring. Hopefully, there'll be some out in the fields the next time I ride through, and I can share that with you. I've talked before about seeing the traces of water on the desert landscape. These days, such traces are mostly artificial, places where homesteads have redirected water over generations to grow trees. But they're no less visible than the natural oases were in the 19th century. At the end of the ride, we return to Wells, and I take Interstate 80 home to Wendover. If you're interested in that trip, please watch the earlier video, which I'll link in the end card. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this trip through the wilds of northern Nevada, I encourage you to do all the usual YouTube things: like, comment, subscribe, and share with others who hanker for the middle of nowhere. I'm the Nevada Stray Cat, and I'll see you around.